So understanding Bitcoin is the easiest thing ever. I don't understand why you need to overcomplicate things. First step is to zoom out. You're too in the matrix Truman set of the US empire. You can't see through it. You can't see the truth. Look at this. Dutch, British, America. Who's up next? These places, they fall. Yeah? Empires fall. The sterling pound is weak now. It was like the US dollar. It is weak now. It's irrelevant. Dutch, whatever. We don't even know about no Dutch. Okay? Sumerian, Aztec, Egyptians, their credit and debt ledgers, non-existent. We don't care. It's irrelevant. Now, in their time, what would have existed and what would have continued to exist is the physical. Gold, silver, land, architecture, buildings. Once their fiction of their credit and debt ledgers, with no one to enforce them, with none of that here, none of that memory stored, what is returned is the physical. We return to the physical. The gold and silver is our denomination unit. So wherever it exists on the planet for the next empire, as long as they accumulate that, that's what we're going to denominate it in. But remember this, their credit and debt ledgers, their culture, their history, erased. It is erased. Okay? Now we need to just be realistic here. We are in the US, where are we? We're in the US empire. Now look at this. Money. Okay, this is fiction. This is fiction. The dollar is fiction. It's a digital number. It's a promise. It's a credit. It's basically a credit. Okay, should this empire fall, it's all, if you're storing your wealth in this, if you are representing your wealth in this, it gets eliminated upon the next empire rising. Okay, British pound, we don't even speak about British pound no more. It's a joke. Okay, now look at this. Bonds. What is a bond? It's really again, it's that second layer promise. Okay, so long as the empire has the global market share, okay, they can enforce the claim of their bond, which is a promise. Real estate, again, it's a physical enforcement, and should an empire fall, your claim to your house, your net worth, the ownership to it is enforced by the US power network. US power network. Equities, again, fiction, digital. It's a digital value storage enforced, or digital value asset enforced by the US network, the current empire. Now, should all of this collapse, we return back to the reality. All value goes to gold. Okay, so we need this empire and its enforcement, its energetic enforcement, to make all this fiction real. But it holds a value. If someone has 100 million, hello, it's 2024. If someone has 100 million, you respect that. If someone has 100 million, they have that purchasing power. That is our denomination unit and settling unit for the US dollar empire network, monetary layer. It's priced in dollars, it's the language we speak. It has an energetic power. The world's energy is priced in dollars. It has an energetic power, but let's say we're at the end of the empire. Because people can't believe, people don't want to, British never fell, Dutch. It's the same people, it's just a different empire, it's just a different face. But the same power that's on the planet is the same power. Or the same methods to enforce power, to create your own fictional currency, and it's the same thing. But anyway, we're at the potential end of this. Now, you are the US. You have the global market share. Your assets, your fiction, it has global power. People want dollars. Okay, but should this fiction end, remember, it all goes to zero. Should the empire fail, all goes to zero. Now, what Satoshi really did, he did a layup. He gave you an assist. He said, look, all of this potential energetic power, you can secure it. You can secure it with a digital network that will enforce, it will do what the US is doing, enforcing the value of its fictional currency. Bitcoin is doing that. It's enforcing the value and existence of the Bitcoin, and it's securing its total supply of 21 million. So whilst you still have this power, you should be doing the no-brainer thing and accumulating this asset called Bitcoin. Okay, because it's going to represent a large share of the Bitcoin network in terms of how much you can accumulate. Okay, now for some reason they don't want people going back to gold. Okay, because that really blows up. If it's empire, end of an empire, you want to secure it out of the game, out of the casino, and out of the chips, and back into the gold, so you can exit the casino. The US empire is a casino. Okay, but for some reason they don't want it directed to all that digital economic power. They don't want it to go for gold. I guess China has gold, Russia has gold, all their opponents have gold. Okay, so what that will do is deflate the US digital valuation empire, whatever, and return valuations back to the base asset, which is gold. But Satoshi created a substance in cyberspace in which you could secure the value. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Satoshi created a substance in cyberspace, which is a fixed supply substance. So that changed the whole game. He created a whole different realm for all these bonds, real estate, money, fiat money. It has its energetic value, and right now, $1 to 1,000 sats. That is the exchange rate. That's going to be a crazy exchange rate because it's never going to be like that ever again. Okay, so he gave you the layup. He gave you the boomers the layup. He gave the US dollar empire network the layup to secure this purchasing power forever. Forever. Do you understand? Because if someone's going to threaten the US, it's going to come in the form of an energetic innovation, overpowering. They've discovered nuclear, fusion, fission, or in terms of AI, AI compute, AI exports. That's really the two main areas upon which, you can see China doing that. You can see BRICS and all them potentially threatening on that type of level. Okay, so if it's going to occur in that area, guess what? Bitcoin will still exist. Bitcoin says it doesn't matter if you can surpass the US, your energy will be absorbed by the Bitcoin network. And any sufficiently advanced civilization will use a network like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was a US created thing, it's like it don't matter if the Chinese beat them. You know what I mean? Because where can value go? Where can your power dominance go other than being caught by this network called Bitcoin? So the US is really in the layup. They got layup by Satoshi, the assist, and says, look, just before your thing fails, whilst you still have this max, we still believe in the fiction of all this stuff. Remember, there's no Aztecs, there is no Sumerians. They probably had credit ledgers too, and they probably had their money too if it wasn't gold. It don't exist no more. Once the empire changes, they do the same thing. They represent the world's wealth in their denomination. Okay, so right before this thing ends, whilst you still got maximum global share, you're being able to accumulate this thing called Bitcoin and secure your wealth forever. Okay, this gets you everything. If anyone was to beat you, I don't understand why you wouldn't understand this. Does that make sense? Can you see this is all in the digital realm? We started with this, we created layer 2, we created the fiat, we created the credit layer, all the innovation happens there, and now we have trillions in all this digital wealth, which ain't real. It really can't even interact with reality. As you can see, it won't interact with gold, otherwise gold would go. Think about this. In order to exit the casino, you need to cash in the chips. This all started with gold. With all this trillions, 900 trillion, to settle out of the fictitious realm of digital numbers on the US credit empire ledger. How do you make it last 1,000 years? You have to make sure that the US is constantly exerting energy to remain dominant for 1,000 years. They have to. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Now we see what Bitcoin does. It does the same thing. It exerts power, and it says, "Hey, look, it don't matter how much energy you have. In the physical world, more energy means more warfare, more bombs. In Bitcoin world, it's like it don't matter how much energy you have. Bitcoin absorbs it all, and it says, hey, look, 10 minutes anyway. 10 minutes anyway. 10 minutes next block. Okay, so how do you secure the value of this? How do you make it last a lifetime? Do you know what I mean? How do you make sure that we ain't saying Sumerian, Aztec, Dutch, British, US? Now it's how do we make sure it's not that? Bitcoin can really last 1,000 years. Do you understand? So right when you have this fictional currency called the dollar, still maintaining this global wealth against the world, it's priced in dollars and it has an energetic capacitance. And Satoshi has said, okay, for some reason they want to keep us in this digital fiction. No one's exiting the casino into gold and accumulating gold, because again, there's still that requirement to defend your assets. There's still a requirement to defend your real estate, to defend your gold, to defend your art, to export the idea that this is wealth. So Satoshi has allowed you to secure the value of all this stuff and have a defense network that is doing that. Like, that's the best thing to ever happen. Bitcoin being released in the midst of the US empire for you lot. That's crazy. That's unfair in a way. It could have been released 100 years ago. Well, no, it couldn't have. It could have been released after the US fell. It didn't. It's mad. If you're a boomer, you're stupid if you're not just buying this. Like, literally, here's gold. If there's 900 trillion here, 800 and something trillion, you can't use all of that to, I mean, well, a small portion of that can be used to accumulate all of the gold supply. That's exiting the casino. Do you know what I mean? So that means anyone who comes less, their dollars, their bonds, their real estate gets repriced in terms of gold. Okay, it will get devalued. In order to settle into something physical and fixed, scarce, gold is going to be a limited amount. The price of gold has to go up to settle that 900 trillion or that 880 trillion. But Bitcoin is the same thing. So if you were smart, you would be like what all the average plebs are doing, which is going all in Bitcoin and saying, look, we're at 94% allocated, 94% emitted, 6% left. We're going to be at 99% Bitcoins emitted in the next 10 years. Okay, so there's all that capital, 900 trillion, really don't have anywhere to go if we're talking about 6% of coins. And all these plebs are waiting for 10 million a coin. They're not releasing it. Well, they might. But as you can see, if you was a big boomer, you would just say, hey, I'm trying to go up some wealth levels. If this can even limit whoever beats the US, then it's guaranteed unstoppable. So I'm going to go in all in now. Just like I gave you the gold example, you all can't exit the casino into gold. Otherwise gold price explodes to like 50,000 an ounce. But Satoshi or the US defense system has said, let's keep all that energy, all that digital energy in the digital realm. And instead of it going for gold, we don't want people going for gold. Let's let it leak and all that energetic charge dissipate into this fixed supply unit called the Bitcoin that can be here for 1,000 years. See it in your head. It cannot go back into reality. That blows up the whole thing, really and truly. But it can dissipate into this and have, instead of gold going to 50,000 and everyone losing their mind, joining the gold mining industry and ripping up phones and shit and pulling out gold teeth and all crazy stuff like that. It's all just being directed to a digital network. If you want to go up some wealth, if you're a boomer and you want to go up some wealth levels, you can't take that wealth with you. You cannot guarantee that the US will be able to defend it. They're giving you, the BlackRock is giving you the alley-oop and saying, look, they're saying 2%. They're trying to do a controlled demolition, or controlled dissipation. I don't get it. If you're a boomer, you'll be going all in. You cannot tell me you got here a boomer post World War II that all this stuff makes sense to you. This stuff don't exist. It don't exist. It won't exist 1,000 years from now if there's not someone to enforce it. Sumerian, Aztec, who are they? What's their credit and debt ledgers? We don't know. We don't care. It don't exist. It's just numbers written on some old scroll. Ain't no one keeping track of that. What was kept track of was where the gold was. That's what made the next empire. Whoever had the energetic power to steal that gold, to defend that gold. Bitcoin is doing that all for you. Defending, enforcing. It just makes so much sense. If you're a boomer, you can't take the wealth with you. Translate it for the next world. Translate it for the next empire. They're going to be in the same sticky mess as you. They can't surpass Bitcoin, no matter how much energy they check on the network. They can't surpass it. It defends the wealth. Satoshi gave you the alley-oop to say, look, just before this whole thing fails, you should be selling everything. You should be going up wealth levels, realizing that, look, there's not enough Bitcoin. Just like there's not enough gold at this current valuation. In order to satisfy this 900 trillion, this gold needs to match. It needs to match. So if you get in first, don't be lost. Don't be the last to buy the gold. Don't be the last to leave the casino. There's not enough gold to back up the chips. There's not enough Bitcoin to back up the chips at this valuation. If you want to go up a couple class levels, that's it. It's reality. It's the new empire. It's the new empire. If you want to go up a couple class levels, you go all in. Forget about all this 2%. Forget about all this 5%. You probably won't live. If you're a boomer, you probably won't live to really see this thing blow. But just, this is the only spiritual way. Bitcoin now 2024, 2025, it's going to be the same Bitcoin in 2050, the same Bitcoin in 2100. It's the same thing. We're saying you can only do this once. The current sat ratio is 1,000 sats to $1. When we get to $1 equals 1 sat, that's 100 million a Bitcoin. And I'm pretty sure we're actually going to go into the nano realm. Yeah, we're not just going from 1,000 sats to 1 sat. No, we're going to go we're going to go even smaller than that. And people are going to lose their mind. They're going to say, what? Just in 2024, it was 1,000 sats to $1. And now we're here less than 1 sat to $1. Less. We're going into the decimals. People won't believe it. People won't believe it. Where is this going? Where's all this going next 100 years? Defending it. Ensuring that you remain the dominant, of the market share, global market share. When we got AI, when we got all this new innovation. It don't matter whether the innovation happens in energy or information, compute. Bitcoin absorbs it all. It's as simple as that. So that's just how I see it. I don't understand why you're talking about anything else. We don't care about coffee. We don't care about coffee. I don't care how much coffee Bitcoin can buy, because we don't need to power another coffee shop when you can be on Mars, when you can be on Elon's rocket. I'm just going to end it there.